Definition of hosted virtual desktops. A hosted virtual desktop is a user interface that connects to applications and data that are stored on a cloud provider's servers rather than on the user's computer or the corporate network. An HVD is sometimes referred to as a cloud-hosted virtual desktop. Each desktop instance exists as a virtual machine on the service provider's servers. To the end users, the experience should be indistinguishable from one in which all their data and applications are local. Example: the HVD delivery model, also known as desktop as a service, offers a lot of benefits to the enterprise. The service provider is responsible for storage, backup, security, and upgrades. Service providers generally offer redundancy, high availability, optimized power, and sometimes other features such as remote replication for data protection. The model also benefits a mobile workforce because employees can access their desktops from anywhere with an internet connection. Industry use cases of virtual desktop: shift workers, healthcare, educational institutions, remote users, sales, field technicians, graphics-intensive applications, call centers. Shift workers. For companies that staff primarily shift workers, virtual desktop provides a convenient way to manage multiple desktop accounts on fewer endpoints. Shift workers that require a PC to fulfill their job duties often do not need a designated computer, and providing them one adds a significant amount of complexity and cost. The IT department can streamline this process, maintain fewer endpoints in the company, and still provide all the necessary tools for their shift workers by leveraging a virtual desktop deployment. With virtual desktop, workers on each shift will log into the same few endpoints, access their own virtual desktop, and work as normal. At the end of the shift, they log off, head home, and can access their own unique desktop the next day. Healthcare. Virtual desktop enables the administration team to customize rules and permissions based on the individual virtual desktop. This becomes extremely convenient in healthcare settings where privacy is a concern. By designating specific permissions, each medical professional can have their own virtual desktop that only allows them to see their relevant patient records. Furthermore, they can move from device to device throughout the day, boot up their virtualized desktop, and access the records they need. Educational institutions. School environments align perfectly with the benefits of virtual desktop. In a school, students are in the building during predictable hours and only attend the institution for a finite amount of time. Plus, students should have strict restrictions on what they can and cannot do with their school-provided PCs and laptops. With virtual desktop, the IT team can provide each student their own virtual desktop with any necessary restrictions for the duration of their enrollment. Then when they graduate, the IT team can delete the virtual desktop with just a few clicks. Remote users, sales, field technicians. Employees on the road, whether they are simply working remotely, in sales, or field technicians, need to have a reliable way to access their applications and tools. Virtual desktop offers a secure way to enable anytime, anywhere, and any device access to a consistent, high-performing desktop experience. Regardless of the circumstance, a complete virtual desktop solution enables your remote workforce to operate effectively. Virtual desktop can even be used in this circumstance to enable beyond capabilities. Graphics-intensive applications. From graphic designers to engineers, graphic-intensive applications made for design can be a serious weight on business systems. Advancements in virtual desktop infrastructure technology make it the perfect solution for both 2D and 3D design applications. Virtualization allows for data sharing and low overhead while still providing the performance power necessary for sizable tools like the Adobe Creative Suite and AutoCAD. Call centers. The unique characteristics of call centers: many workers using the same tools, frequent changes in user stations and limited documentation make it the perfect setting for improvement with the virtual desktop infrastructure. Virtual desktop allows all call center agents to access just the information and tools they need, making the call center's computing system more efficient and cost-effective. The structure of the virtualized platform also makes it possible to scale the call center much more quickly. Benefits and features of virtual desktop. Virtual private network alternative. Reducing operational costs. Flexibility to work remotely. High-level data security. Dynamic updating. Better disaster recovery. Centralized troubleshooting. Increased productivity. Virtual private network alternative. Hosted virtual desktops allow users to log in remotely without requiring a virtual private network connection into your network. Installing and maintaining a VPN can prove costly and burdensome for your IT staff. Hosted virtual desktops offer a favorable alternative to virtual private networks for secure access to your company's data and applications. Reducing operational costs. For companies looking to conserve capital, hosted virtual desktops can prolong the use of your existing hardware. After migrating to a hosted virtual desktop solution, companies typically see a 30 to 50% reduction in operational expenses. Plus, hosted virtual desktops can free up costly resources. Your IT department can spend less time on day-to-day management and support. Flexibility to work remotely. How people do business today is not the same as before. Even the workforce hired in any organization look for ways to be flexible at work. Just being able to work in office hours is a thing of the past. To be able to grow your business globally, you need to give your team access to work-related data, no matter where they are. Obviously, one cannot just carry his office computer system everywhere he or she goes. But certain business-related things can only be done by accessing the required data and applications in real time. Virtual desktop can help businesses greatly in this aspect. High-level data security. Your business-related data saved on a traditional desktop computer in your office may get lost in several ways. Either someone can steal the data, or the system may crash unexpectedly. In any way, your business can get affected by the data loss. To be on the safe side, you can switch to virtual desktop and prevent these possible situations from occurring. The data and applications of hosted desktops get saved on the cloud. So, it will stay safe and secure in case of unexpected events at the local premises. Even if the physical device over which you access these virtual desktops gets lost or stolen, the data is still safe as the data is on the cloud. Dynamic updating. As your organization gets larger, computer choices become more diverse. Creative professionals look to Apple screens, while IT experts prefer PCs. Managers expect laptops that increase portability, but tablets and even phones become invaluable while on the go. Here's the rub: all these devices might be running different operating systems and app versions. Updating these various devices with both regular maintenance and major upgrades can quickly become difficult. The same software may not work equally well depending on the browser, OS, and age of the machine. A virtual desktop becomes a solution, centralizing the updating process to make it more dynamic. Better disaster recovery. Like cybersecurity, disaster recovery has become an essential part of IT management. Almost 50% of businesses who experience a disaster without a recovery plan in place never recover from it. How can you make sure that your organization doesn't become another part of that depressing statistic? Virtualization certainly isn't the only step, but it becomes a crucial help. You no longer rely on the stationary computers that might be lost or damaged in the disaster. Instead, The data is stored in a centralized location, safe and backed up regularly. Even as recovery efforts begin, you can already access that data to minimize downtime and potential damages. Centralized troubleshooting. What happens when one of your employees experiences a software problem? In most traditionally set-up organizations, the answer is linear. A service ticket leads to an IT call and a local solution. The best-case scenario might include an analysis of whether that same problem exists on a more global scale, with individual fixes put in place to address a potential solution. Imagine the work required to stem this type of workload. Now, add in the fact that a global solution might not be easily possible or immediately sought, leading to duplication of efforts for each ticket. In a virtual desktop environment, the same troubleshooting happens once, globally solving the problem for all constituents. Increased productivity. Moving to a virtual desktop interface will almost certainly improve your organization's productivity. Its operations become more lean and agile, while employee abilities and efforts become more flexible. Productivity can be maintained even in the face of disaster, and in a more secure environment thanks to better protection against data breaches. Finally, the long-term cost savings can be invested into the business for better operations down the road. Illustrative example. These are some of the companies offering solutions and offerings for hosted virtual desktops. Amazon Workspaces, Cisco VXI, Citrix, IBM Cloud, Microsoft, Nutanix, VMware Horizon Cloud.